Oh, hello, hello. Uh, Back for a little more coding. So, um, yeah. Uh, just to kind of recap what have we done the last couple of days. Well, I guess Monday and Tuesday. Um, I'm building a Rails powered app that integrates with ChatGPT because I want to be able to uh, do roleplay characters in games that I stream. And I want ChatGPT to come up with the story decisions or generally just explain what it wants me to do when I'm playing those games. So, what that started out is a Rails app. So it started out, yeah, as a Rails app that I've been building for a few days now. We've got the integration going. Let me just actually walk through kind of the app itself. So here we go. Get all the text sizes increased and everything. So the basics of the app are, actually I added this to the README. So the OpenAI chat completions API has a system message concept, which is basically where you can define a set of rules for ChatGPT to follow. And the system message, I think in this case, we're going to use to set the rules for the character itself that we want ChatGPT to roleplay as. And just kind of the different rules that it has to follow, you know, some to add entertainment, some to make sure that it conforms to the rules of the game. Yeah, so there's that. I also found out, I'm pretty sure you can't do a system message with the web-based ChatGPT, so it's only API, which is kind of what makes it, one of the things that makes it necessary to do this through a custom app. We have some sort of input prompt system where we can tell ChatGPT what's going on and ask it what to do. ChatGPT does have token limits on how much context you can send in a request, so we have to cut that off. And then I also want to be able to store message history because some of the games that I envision playing, like I really want to do Baldur's Gate 3 with ChatGPT, and I think to do that, we'll need to be able to maintain history across multiple sessions. So storing data in a database, and then a few other things here that I haven't figured out yet, or that I'm still working on. So just jumping into it, like the big ideas are our top level entity is a character. And we have, yeah, we basically have a character is defined as a name and a system message, so that's where we store this. And then each character has messages, which are either user or assistant. So we're storing what we're feeding to ChatGPT, and then we're also storing what ChatGPT returns. So it's a role and then content, and then we're also on both of these, we're storing the token count so that we can do estimates and kind of know when to cut things off, so that we don't suddenly send a request and then ChatGPT's like, oh, that's too much info. I don't want to have to deal with that. So yeah, we've got this nice little query that we came up with last stream to do that. And then I have a model here that I haven't actually done anything with, which is summaries. So since we're going to be rolling off history for ChatGPT, I want to be able to tell the API some of what it thinks is the important history, like going further back. So I have this concept of summaries that I want to set up. I've got like a full write-up down here. Basically, we send it a range of messages and then we say, okay, for all of this, summarize everything in 1 to 2 sentences, provide an important score, and then we store that, and then we just regularly generate those. And I think that'll kind of help retain some of the context. Now, things I've done since last stream. I was digging in. So one of the requirements that I had going into this is I really wanted to have it so that I could provide input for ChatGPT as voice, which I think ChatGPT is actually like doing speech recognition and text to speech as a new feature. But like I said, some things here that I want to do just kind of custy. Um, so I wanted to do voice, and I was trying to figure out how to do that from a Rails app. And it led me down a path that I'm not proud of, like looking at piping in system commands, like terminal commands from Ruby to like a binary like ffmpeg. And I decided I really didn't want to risk that. So I did some research on the front end side, like the React side, and came up with, I should have pulled this up before, React speech recognition. Came up with this really cool React library, which uses the Web Speech API, which I didn't know existed, but it kind of makes sense. It's really cool. So there's supported browsers. It really only works in Chrome like this. If we wanted to, we could add polyfills. He has a list of polyfills in here somewhere. Yeah, polyfills. So that you could use other providers and get better support across browsers. At the moment, since it's just going to be me using this, I'm fine with running it in Chrome and having Google process my voice data, which is ironic. Like, we actually had a good discussion on stream a couple nights ago about data privacy and telemetry and things like that. Yeah, I'm just going to be honest, I am not consistent with how I hold myself to those and my opinions. But yeah, that aside, I'm comfortable with just using Chrome, and that makes it really easy in a React app to do the speech recognition. So with that, I started thinking, I basically decided to build a React app as the front end. And then I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to do that, like the easiest way really to integrate some sort of backend with React is usually with GraphQL. So I set up GraphQL. Let me get OBS pulled back up. So I set up GraphQL. It's really cool here, a lot of boilerplate, but we've got queries and mutations that we can use. So I think the specs kind of provide some good examples here. So we've got query spec. So we can retrieve info on a particular character, and we can just get all this information in one call. And we can get a list of characters so that from the UI we can select characters as we need them. And then we've got mutations, so we can create a new character, delete a character, update a character. I mainly see this if we want to update the system message. And then, of course, sending a message, which, because we're doing the speech recognition on the front end, we can just send back text through the API, and that'll do what we need. Okay, so we've got a React app now. Yes, we do have a React app. It's pretty basic. I ended up building it using Joy UI, which is a variant of Material UI. The only reason I did that is that I just so incredibly hate doing styling and figuring out how to make stuff look good on a page, and Material and its variants are helpful for that. So yeah, we've got that, and then we can actually look at it. So here's graphical. This is a cool tool for GraphQL. It runs on our local server. And we can test stuff out here, which is just so neat. So like query, characters, ID, name, and system message tokens. Like GraphQL lets you do schema introspections. So yeah, we've got our characters here. And I kind of like this. This is cool. And then we've got all that built into a super, super, super basic React app. Sorry. Yeah, so here, what I've got built so far, we've got this select a character screen, and then we've got messages. So I'm kind of envisioning this as being like the create or edit or character management tab where you can create a new character, you can delete a character, or edit. So here, we've got our one in here. I've got some stuff here that needs to be cleaned up. But yeah, got this. This is not editable at the moment because it's not really a real form. But this should be good for us. So yeah, we've got that. And then once we select one here, we can pop over here and see the message history, which right now is just a bunch of auto-generated messages. But then we can also kind of demo out the speech recognition technology. So if we click start, hold on. So if we click start, then we end up being able to allow, wow. So if we click start, then we can actually start doing voice recognition here, and it pops in here. And I'm thinking we can use this and then send it right along to our mutations. So the things left for today that I just want to finish up before, I think tomorrow I'm actually gonna like try using it to play through a game. So what's left to actually do is okay, so checking here. So we just added the send message mutation. And so actually I think we can close this out and actually merge this branch in. Okay, so we do this. Useless assignments. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's okay. Let me fix that up real quick. Character query spec. Interesting. What is it saying is useless? 35 and 40. Oh. Okay. Okay, boom. Linter should be happy now. Mutation plus specs. I got a little carried away. I skipped streaming yesterday, but I was still feeling productive, so I got a milkshake and coded for like 4 hours. It was great and terrible. Okay, let's do that. Close out some stuff. Here, merge that. Okay, so we're good. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is I want to add a variable temperature option for messages. So we looked at this on stream the other day. Here, completions, chat. So temperature is a number between 0 and 2 And it basically just makes it whether it's deterministic or random. So if you do something like 0.2, then you're going to get a much more sane, logical, and repeatable answer, but it might be less creative. And since this is supposed to be a roleplay character, sometimes you want it to be more random. At least that's what I'm thinking. And then sometimes you want it to be a bit more logical. So, yeah. Basically, what I wanted to do is I wanted to spin up some logic. So here in the service that actually talks to ChatGPT, we can feed in temperature here. And then in our character chat service, which handles all the logic of what to actually send, right now we're not sending a temperature. But what I was thinking was, what I was really thinking was we do something like before we actually send it to ChatGPT, we select a random temperature. What am I doing? So I've been building a Ruby on Rails and React app that integrates with the OpenAI ChatGPT APIs. And what I'm building ultimately is an app that lets me have ChatGPT roleplay as specific characters, which I know you can kind of do that through just like going to the ChatGPT website. But in the API, there's a couple extra things you get. So you can get this system message. So if you go through the API, you can basically define a set of rules that ChatGPT has to follow. And then there's also this temperature module, which basically is the output from ChatGPT more random or more deterministic. It basically controls the creativity that goes into the response that ChatGPT gives. And then storing message history, because some of these, like, I kind of want to try using ChatGPT to play Baldur's Gate 3, and that's going to require it to retain a lot of context over time. So storing that information in a database will let us kind of keep that as a long-lived thing. So that's what I'm building. I've got this Rails app backend. I've got a React front end with a GraphQL API in the middle. And if we look at it here, here's what we've got so far. Basically a character selection / edit screen, which still needs a few features. And then here we've got our interaction tab, basically. And it's this recognition built in. So I can just start talking to ChatGPT and I can say, okay, here's what's going on in the game. This character's doing this other character's doing this. What do you want to do? And then once we wire this up, this will send it to the back end. That'll forward it to ChatGPT along with all the message history and everything. And then hopefully it'll let us create a fun roleplay character. All right. So the thing I was just picking up is I want to allow for a variable temperature. So temperature is, again, the thing that controls whether or not it's more random and creative or more logical and deterministic. What comes back from ChatGPT, that is. Can't make any guarantees about what comes from me. That's always going to be random. So what I want to do is like have an option of like variable temperature, and like we'll set it to false. And then we can do something like temperature is if variable temperature, else 1, because that's what our default is right now. I mean, we could probably rewrite this as like a ternary. Temp equal variable temp. Just want to shorten these up. And if so, then we do some logic here to select something random. Like, I'll just put 1.5 for now, else 1. Alright, that's a little bit nicer. Okay, so let's see. I think what we need is a function to randomly select a good temperature value. So we can do something like exact C. I want to play around with this. So let's see, 0, 2, step dot step 2.1. Let's see. Here. That's okay, so I need to get rid of the floats somehow. But yeah, something like this. Okay, so we've got that. So that'll generate basically all of the different possible temperatures. Oh yeah, we don't want it to go up to 2. I found that actually going above 1.8 breaks the API for some reason. Yeah. So, and then we want to select one randomly from this set. Actually, def random temperature here. Let's just capture this here so that we have it. Then we say, all right, Ruby random from array dot sample. Okay, so we could do like here sample. So this should give us a enumerator is not an array. Interesting. Ruby enumerator to array to a. All right, that's simple. Okay, so there, it'll randomly select one. The only thing I want to do is like, I want to make sure that it rounds it down to a, like this integer, because I'm pretty sure ChatGPT won't like this float. Let's see, and I think that's just round. Let's see, round to nearest. To nearest. Okay. Number conversions to I to F. I really hate dealing with floats sometimes. They can just be a real pain. Round and then number of places. So round 1. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. Cool. Okay, so if we've got that, then we say random temperature. Very nice. Temp. So then we pass that through, and let's just make sure, run our specs, make sure we didn't break anything. Okay, everything's still working. All right, that's nice. And then we want to be able to pass this through from our send message mutation. So we're going to go edit that mutation here. And we need to add it as an argument. So argument variable temp. I forget if it's bool or boolean in terms of how GraphQL types it. I think they spell it all the way out. False. I think you can specify a default. Here, variable temp. Or maybe, I think we define the default here in the method, in the resolve method. Here, and then variable temp is variable temp. All right, so let's make sure that it works optionally. It does. Now we want to update our mutation here to actually include a value. So let's do context including a variable temp, and then we will say, okay, variables, and that's getting a little hairy in terms of line length, so just for preference, I want to do this. Let's do this. Okay, so something failed. Unknown keyword variable temp. Okay, that means there's probably a problem here. Variable temp, variable temps. So maybe it is just bool. If this doesn't work, then I'm reading the docs. That breaks everything. That is one nice thing about GraphQL is when you do something silly like that, you find out very quickly. Okay, so geez. Oh, I see it. This should be snake cased. This really trips me up, like the auto conversion between snake and camel, and like what gets converted where. Like that just always that always gets me. Okay, cool. So we've got variable temperature option for messages, and so this. And we'll build that into the front end, like actually using that. And then I think that's actually everything that I wanted to do on the back end for now. So I'm actually going to include this. Yay! Because things like this, like generating the summary message, like just things to retain longer term context and help ChatGPT know about it, like that's a slightly bigger task, and I actually kind of just want to see how far we can get with just what we've implemented so far. So I think we'll hold off on doing this stuff until later. Yeah. Okay, so now, variable temp, linter here. Here, add option for ChatGPT. All right. And kind of useless to switch over to branch since I'm doing everything without a pull request anyway, but committing to main just makes me really nervous. Even if it is just a local silly hobby app. Okay, cool. So I think that's everything there. So what's remaining on the actual app is, first of all, I've got some conditional display logic here that's not working right. So I need to figure that out. Then I need to actually wire up the mutations. So I need to wire up creating a new character, updating a character, and then I need to add a big delete button here. That's kind of the danger zone. And then I need to actually wire up sending the message. And then I think that should be it. So let me just make sure that I have everything kind of documented. I have too many tabs open. Here, okay, to do, wire up character form to, well, actually first, let's fix conditional display logic on character form, wire up character form to update mutation, then character, let's see, form to create mutation, add a button to delete mutation with some sort of confirmation dialog. Then send message mutation. So these are the things that we need to do. So I think this one's going to be an easy fix. Character form. So the way I was trying to do it is I'm using this form control element. So I'm actually doing everything here through Joy UI, which is a variant of Material UI. The reason I chose this framework is not necessarily because I like how it looks, it's because it's easy to get things that come out with the right proportions. I really hate doing CSS and styling and anything like that, and these frameworks just handle a lot of that for you. So I'm a backend dev, that's what I do, so I'm sticking with that. So within this form, I was saying I only want to show these fields and this helper text if we already have a character to work with. Because, so if we're going to create a new character, then we're not going to already have existing data. I wonder if there's like a visible property that we could have. That might do it. It's like, okay. Failed to fetch. Oh, okay. Gotta get the server running. This is one thing that I don't like about having the UI code separate from the server code is, especially for small projects like this, you have to go spin up the server, but I mean, it's fine. So here, oh, I also want a placeholder or some sort of button to create a new character. But we can deal with that later. Okay, so actually let's see if there's like, okay, sorry, I'm distracting myself. Let's first fix the conditional display. So here, let's check the docs and see if we can make these like, it would be nice if we could put something like const display record fields equal data true false. So like if there's a data object, then we would display it, otherwise we wouldn't. And then I'm hoping that there's like some sort of conditional attribute, like a prop we could pass in here. Form label API. That's right. Oh, this opens in the wrong window. Here are the docs for Joy UI. So children component required. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's really a good interface for hiding something. I mean, we could try this. Display record fields. It's assigned a value but never used. Interesting. Okay, so it's counting this as not being used. Do I need to just wrap this whole thing in brackets? Okay, parsing error, it doesn't like that. And if we're going to do that, then we should probably just switch back to calling it just using data presence. Okay, so let's see. JSX conditional rendering here. Okay. So here. Okay, so they're doing the conditional outside of the return statement. so that's like got the same objects. Oh, paren. That's what I'm missing. So you do a bracket and then your JS and then paren to get back to the HTML or I guess the JSX. Okay. I think this is it. Here. No, that's not quite right. I think inside here. That's definitely less right. Okay, so we've got something here, and we say bracket. Okay, so this is actually just a ternary and not an if statement. What was that? Don't put numbers on the left side of double and. Converts the left side to a boolean automatically. Oh, interesting. Always all sorts of really what I think of as odd things like that with JS. Okay, so let's try doing this a little differently. Alright, let's go back to the example. The ternary example. We say, so bracket, condition, check, and then open paren. Okay. Alright, so bracket, data, question mark. We only need one of these. No? That should actually work. That's much better. Okay, let's see if it actually displays right. Ah, it does. Sweet. All right, so then we've got one other case down here. So we'll do this. Oh, and actually, I think the null output here is kind of redundant. Is it? No, it's not. You have to have that. Okay. So we'll say this. Then we'll just say data ternary there. And then we have to have the null condition. Okay. Perfect. That is so nice. Cool. Okay. Now, the other thing is I want to have a blank spot here that will just kind of be a placeholder and also let us create a new character. So let's see if we can get that wired up. Oh yeah, check it off the README. Done with that. New character option on tab. Okay, so character tab here. So character tab. So an active character ID. So the state management stuff is being passed in, I think, from character. Character form. Okay, so it's. Sorry, I get a little lost in the code labyrinth. So the top level is tab set. Tab set is rendering character tab with null as the default active character ID. So active character ID gets passed in here. We have select ID, select character as an element, and then character as another element. So character is this. If ID equals null. Oh, okay. That's actually not what we want to do. So the conditional is returning too early, and instead of seeing an empty form, we're seeing just nothing. And that's not quite what we want. So I think we're gonna say, first let's set up a div. Here. Okay, and then we're going to do the same kind of ternary that we just did. And we'll say, let's see. How do we structure this? We say ID here. Else null. Okay, so we do that, and then I think we can actually comment this out. If error or loading, ooh. Okay. So I think we might need a new component for this. Because what I'd love to do is actually have these error messages only display if there's an ID. So if loading, or we could do ID and loading. That actually might be a slightly simpler way to do it. Hey, there we go. We've got it. Okay, so if we don't have a character selected, then we get these blank fields where you could say character, and then you are X, you follow these rules. Okay, cool. But then if we actually select one, then it shows us everything that we want. Okay, I like that. All right, next thing, I want to have a blank option in here. That's like just a placeholder that says create a new character. So let's see. New character option on tab. So this would be in the select character set. So we would want to have an option. Option value equals a null value. I don't know if we can do that. Key equals new. I think we can do that. And then just to create new, and then maybe maybe ellipses, and maybe that'll just help us out. Okay. So create new, or select one, or we would go back to create new. Okay, easy peasy. So there's another one done. Okay, now, okay, so now we want to wire it up to the mutation. Okay, so let's figure out how we do that. Probably gonna need the Apollo docs. Mutation form. Mutations in Apollo client. Let's also just pull up a couple of other examples, just in case. But let's look through the examples that they give us here. Alright, so we've already got querying data, modifying use mutations. So use mutation hook is the primary thing we'll be using. Okay. Prerequisites. Yep, we've already got our mutations built, we've already got Apollo provider set up and everything. And just for the folks watching, so Apollo provider actually gets set up here in index.js, where we say here's where you go for GraphQL stuff, and then we wrap the top level app component with Apollo provider, so it's just always there and ready for us to use GraphQL when we need it. So that's kind of what it's talking about up here. Okay, so we can define our mutation here. So import GQL, and then we've got our actual mutation that we send, and it's kind of very similar to the query stuff that we set up. Okay. Here. Okay, so add a component. So they've actually got a form example here. That's nice. So making input exist. Then constant add to do. So where does add to do get referenced? Here. Okay. So this gets output as a function, and then these things come after we actually call the function. Okay, that's good. Alright, then. I guess let's, first let's add a button. That's kind of, I think, a little important. What do you have in terms of buttons? Here. Okay, so here. Alright, so we'll add that in here. Character form, I think, is where we want to put it. Here we'll say button. Oh yeah, how do you define your text? Expand code. Okay, so they've just got wrapped up a little bit more. push button. I don't actually want it to do anything on click yet. Oh, I need to import button. Save. Okay, that's successful. Let's check it out. Okay, nice big save button. Cool. Alright, that's a start. Does it show up in... It shows up in either case. Perfect. I like it. Oh. Okay. So let's go back here. So we've got our button. We need to wrap our form in an actual form component. So let's do that. To install an auto formatter or something. But let's make sure this is still here. Still here. Okay. Then so we're gonna need 2 mutations. We're going to need the update character mutation and the save mutation. So let's import the use mutation stuff. And I'll just start with their example, like this. Update character. And for reference, I'm going to go back to our Rails code. So this is one thing I love about specs, is we can just go here and grab the code that we use in our spec. Oops, sorry, I keep losing which window I want to go to. Here. Okay, 2 warnings, I expect those. Okay, and then I want to return all the same info that I get from the character query. Okay. And then I also want to do a create character query. Actually, you know what, getting ahead of myself. Let's just start with update. Okay, so we've got this. Then what do they do next? So they let input, and then they define a const. Okay, so let's do that. Update character. Oh, very nice. Autofilling. Ooh, data has already been declared. Okay. Response data. Okay, now we've got a nice number of warnings here. if... Okay, so then we can add our loading messages. Loading and error messages. Okay. Then what do they do here? They do this big on submit. Here. Probably going to need to look for some other examples in terms of setting up these variables. Let's see here. So on submit. Input.value. So the actual things that we want to send over in terms of our updates are name and system message. So let's just fill this out with placeholders. Not add to do. It's update character. Okay. And then okay, so I'm going to need to look a little more into getting data from like React forms. Because I've already got values set. I don't think we need. I actually don't think we're going to need input. We might have to do some cache refreshing, but I'll look into that in a minute. Okay, so let's see what they're doing here. So they're just doing a general input, providing options. Not really seeing anything there that I want. Okay, let's check out this. How to GraphQL. It's a pretty good website. So they've got set form state. Interesting. Oh, so they're doing this as state. That's interesting. Huh. And then how would they fire it up? Okay, create link mutations, they're doing that. And they call that, okay, so they're just using state here. That's actually maybe a good way to do it. Alright, so let's import useState from React. let's say here, hmm. You know, this is getting really complicated, so I'm starting to think we're going to have 2 separate forms. Yeah, I really wanted to make this one form, but I think we've got to do 2 separate forms. Okay, good news is that would be really easy to wire up. So we could have like a character update form and character create form. Okay. The one thing I've learned so far in doing React stuff is that's never to spend too much time trying to force it all into one component. It just seems to go a lot better if I naturally just break it out. Like trying to reuse character form, that probably just makes the component too big. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say create source components character create form. Save this one, and I'm going to rename this one to character update form. Before I get too far, yes, please. Here. Okay. Before I get too far, I want to copy some of this off. Actually, you know what? We'll just copy it later. Just put a placeholder here. Here, this does not need any props because we're not starting with any state. Return div. Okay, that's good. Let's start there. And this is going to be character create form. So let's import character create form from. Okay, that's usually autofills for me. Create form. And we don't need to pass in data. Okay, that's a good starting place there. Then let's rename this one character update form. Okay. Update. Normally VS Code is a little better at picking up these changes, but it's fine. Okay. And actually, that kind of makes me feel like we should move the query down a layer. We don't need this anymore. Yeah, like now that we're not doing anything conditional here, we should really just pass in ID and then let the character update form component handle getting the data. That'll probably also make it easier to refresh data after we get the mutation back. All right. So ID. Let's see. I'll also import use query. Yep, and then let's also copy this over. Good. Then here, so say this query loading, query error, and data. I'm going to change this prop to ID. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to make this mutation data, mutation loading, and mutation error. If, so let's copy these over. Alright, so we've got all our states. Yeah. So let's say query loading, error, and then we'll say mutation loading, mutation error. Okay, that looks nice. Then we'll just propagate query data down. And we don't need these conditionals now, actually. So that's going to clean this up a bit. We're not going to need these conditionals either. Here, and then we also don't need safe navigation here. Because that was only for just in case we didn't have data. All right. Dear, it feels like I'm on the verge of breaking absolutely everything that I've already built. But that looks good. Here, ID equals ID, and then with that, we can just get rid of this entirely. We don't need it. So that simplifies this here, and we can remove these. Okay, so that super simplifies this component. Next component is still a little hairy, but let's keep chipping away at it. Okay, what were we doing next? We were going to set up state management for the mutation. Okay, and the example we were looking at, so we've already, are we importing use state? We are. Okay, so let's set up our state management like this. And then the actual variables that we need to send through. We need to send ID, name, and system message here. Let's actually just verify that format. So here we've got it all wrapped in input, but ID, name, system message. Okay, so that's everything we want there. ID is going to be constant as, actually let's move this down here. So that's going to rely on characters, so this query data character ID. It's like that's never going to change on us once we've selected a character. All right, and then name. Name is going to initialize actually with the same. We're going to use data from here. And then we can initialize this one the same. So this way it'll always start out with the state of what gets returned from the API. So that's good. Alright. Then we need to set up on-change handlers for each input. Okay, so that's going to be a little messy. Let's see, on change equals, and how do they do that? E lambda set form state. I'll just copy this and work from here instead of going back and forth. And then I want to format this a little bit nicer. Here. And then particularly this one we're going to say name, e target value. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, and then we need to switch this to form state. Okay. Alright, there we go. Then same thing for text area. Here, required on change equals, and then just copy this and yeet it down. System message value equals form state. Okay, I think that's going to be that. Let's actually just try running this. Start. Let's make sure that it actually compiles. Heh, it does not like that. React hook use state is called conditionally. React hooks must be called in the exact same order in every component render. That's in character update form, line 48. All right, so let's deal with this one first. Line 48. Oh, okay. So, yeah, okay. So it doesn't like that we're defining the state functions before, or like potentially after it gets returned for something else, which makes sense. Okay, and then line 43, something is undefined. Oh. Oh. Okay. So first of all, query data. But then we've got this being used before it's defined. So it needs to go here. Okay. Use state is defined but never used. What do you mean? Oh, that's over here. Okay, never mind. Okay. So we should be good here. Okay, so we're not good here. Cannot read properties of undefined. Character. Okay, so that is bundle. So this thing just really does obfuscate the actual, like, where the error is occurring. Okay, so we are passing in ID, and because we selected a value, there should be an actual ID for us to use. Query data. Let's see, actually, I think we might need to do some good old console.log. Message. Let's log out query data. Because I want to see what's going on. Let's clear that out and then we'll see what happens. Okay. So query data is... Oh, so query data is completely undefined. Well, that's not great. What's going on there? I was hoping it might just be like a GraphQL error that was getting returned. JavaScript. Yes, I am not typically a fan of JavaScript. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, that's why I stayed away from it as long as I could, wrote the entire backend in Rails. But, it's, yeah, really the only reason I ended up going with JavaScript was because it just makes it a little bit easier of a user experience for me, even though I'm the only user, so that doesn't make too much sense. But then there's also, it lets me set up some speech recognition tools. Okay, so what's going on here? We're setting these up. I mean, okay, this is gonna be really ugly. Like, really, really ugly? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say... I'm gonna set... TypeScript is pretty good. So I use TypeScript a little bit in my work during the day, and I honestly just didn't want to spend too much time on it here for a short project. I might do a bigger TypeScript project sometime in the future. I do like TypeScript. Like, it helps you catch a lot of errors that you normally wouldn't even notice just by doing what it does. So I like it for that. Let's see, set form state. So I'm going to do this here, and then I'm going to say, I'm just going to make these blank. Okay. I think that'll actually let us do it, because here we are defining our state not conditionally, because that's what it was complaining about before. So we had this coming after the loading messages. So we're doing this, but then as soon as we get past loading or error, then we're setting state. So I think that will do it. Oh, please let that do it. That did not do it. Okay. Well, in that case, let me just do this. See what happens. Like, I want to see if it's actually related to trying to set state. It is not related to trying to set state. Interesting. So what am I doing wrong? The fact that it's saying I'm trying to reference something on an undefined object tells me that I might have a typo in like query data or whatever it is I'm referencing. I am getting this query going. Alright, so let me just try editing out some of the mutation stuff for now. Like this, and these, and I actually, like, really don't need any of this for right now. Is there anything else mutation related in here? I don't think so. Okay, so this will leave us with just the query. Okay, I'm done with that. Okay, so it's still not liking something here. Reloading. So if there was an error, we should be displaying the message. Actually, here's a question. I wonder if it's even making the GraphQL call. It's not. Or maybe it's not? Okay, so we've got this. Response, yeah, that's exactly what I expect. Here, and this, and it's not even making another call. So it's trying to do some sort of rendering of this data before it even completes the call. Okay. Why would it be doing that? We've got our... I'm feeling very stupid. I'm gonna look over here. Here. Okay. So I'm guessing it's doing this call, like, that's the thing I don't know, is if it evaluates these calls as like a lazy load or on render. Well, but the thing is, like, if the data's not even loaded, then we should be returning out early. So I really don't understand how we're getting to this state. It's probably something very obvious, and I'm going to feel like an idiot once I realize it. But that's programming. Okay, what if I commented out the things that actually use query data? So let's say this, I don't like that, but let's just pass in the raw ID value. Let's put these on comment for now, and then same thing with this. Okay. Here. Okay, so that works. All right, now let's try uncommenting the set form state. This is probably going to crash things. Yeah, it doesn't like that. Yeah, and it's not even attempting to do another call. But I don't know if it was. And what I mean by that is, here, what if I do this? So nothing that's actually being displayed comes from the GraphQL result. Okay, so let's clear our history. Okay, so there's the get characters. Then do this one, and it queries on this character particular. So it is doing that. Huh. Interesting. So the call is completing successfully at some point. But if we ever try to use that data, like, like loading error data, that is the order that they get returned in. Okay. Like, maybe I had gotten them in the wrong order. But let's just try, like, this is gonna crash things again. Yeah. It's not this, is it? No. Like, it's not that, because if I comment, it's not like a spelling mistake, at least it shouldn't be, because if I comment that out, like I've got all uses of query data commented, and then it shows query data as being unused. Is there something wrong with the query itself? I mean, that all looks good. Variables ID is, we're passing in ID. Yikes. Yeah, I'm just kind of at a loss. Like, does this have to be... Wait a second, does we... What order do things get returned in? See, now I'm a little suspicious. Okay, so they do, it is loading error data. Loading error data. I mean, unless they require you to actually say data, that can't be it. That would be very silly. That's it. You can't name it anything other than data. What the F? Okay, moving on. I did not realize that, and I'm guessing that also means that this has to be error, and this has to be loading? Yeah, like... Okay, and then we can say data character ID. Name system message. And that means I don't need this janky thing down here. Fix this. And then these can be, I can redo this. Data dot, and then I can uncomment this one. Okay. So yeah. Wow. Okay, I was not expecting that. Oh, interesting. So form control can only control one component. Oh! Okay, I think I know what's going on there. But at least I can edit those now. Okay, so form control. Yikes. So I'm just gonna do this. this is one of the cases where I think I would love to use something like Copilot. I think it would just help make this a bit faster. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this, and then I'm going to de-indent all of this by one level so I don't lose my dang mind. Okay, here, so we've got that. Here. Okay, and I think that should get rid of that form control thing that was showing up. Let's remove this, reload. Okay, let's see. Warning, failed prop type. Prop value is marked as required, but its value is no. So that's probably in the default option that I'm setting. So here, value. Actually, I think we just don't have a value, maybe? Can you do that? Okay, you can't do that. New, and then we're just gonna say down here, new, not equal. Okay, maybe that'll do it. We're back to this again. What the F? Oh, maybe I don't need the brackets if I'm doing it like this. Okay, well, I'm gonna press pause on that for a moment. It still doesn't like something. What does it not like? It doesn't like one of the changes that I made here. Huh. Or is this what it dislikes? Data.character. Okay, so the only place we're actually reading .character is on the update, on the character update form. Wow. Okay, you know what? I think I do need that hack that I was using earlier. So set form state. So we'll do this, and then we'll just put placeholders until we get there. I mean, I hate this, but here, variable ID of type ID was provided invalid value. Yeah, that tracks. Too many re-renders. Yikes. Okay. Huh, I got all kinds of weird errors now. This is what I love about JavaScript. You just slowly descend into madness until nothing works anymore. Okay, actually, let's just start with, like, if we do this, does that make it display? Okay, that helps. Select character. Okay, so let's put this back in and then see what happens. Okay, so that does nothing at the moment, which is what we want. Okay. And in terms of setting our default state, I think we want to actually set our go one level up and set our default character ID to new, which I kind of hate. Unless, actually I think this will be a little bit better. We do ID and we have a double condition there. Yeah. Okay, so here we do that, that was, okay, so we got that fixed. Whew. Okay, what's next? Okay, and then at this point, like, we have, so we're displaying this data. Actually, after fixing all of that, will this work now? That will not work. Oops. Cat, that was some cat attempting to code. Okay. So we need to not have this here. Can we set a default on inputs? Let's check the input API docs. I mean, I feel like setting a default really is not, it's not a clean way to do it. But also, I don't think we can even do that. Okay, so we have to figure out how to make state work. So what about having a conditional? It's like this is also bad, but if form state.id, I set these to null just to start with, just to initialize them. Do this. Like, this feels like a real hack, and there's gotta be a better way to do it. Okay, that loads everything. Nice. Value prop on input should be null. Should not be null. Oh, where is that? Character update form, input. I'm not quite sure what that's referencing. But that's never stopped me before. And I think this is doing everything that we want. Now, the only thing that is up in the air right now for me is... is this going to break because we're not naming it strictly data, loading, and error? And I guess there's only one way to find out. Alright. Here... Oh, jeez. I'm just so nervous. Like, this is probably gonna wreck everything again. So first of all, let's get this updated. Input. Here. Okay, input ID is going to be oh. Okay, so I missed something here, actually. Okay, and then I need to type this up. So, form state.id, then form state.name, system message. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, so let's actually just try. Okay, so now stuff is loading in. That's what I just noticed was checking for ID not null, so it was never populating form state. Okay, now we just need to, if everything is working the way that I expect, then we've got our onSubmit set up to actually use the mutation that's getting set right here. And then we're passing in our input variables. Input, so in the right format, input, ID, name, system message. we're setting those values in state every time they change here and here. So I think the only thing that's left is we need to make the button a submit type, which should be easy. I mean, let's check the API reference. Type, so action, focus visible, okay. Disable pull bit for position size, slot box, start directory, variant. Huh. So maybe it just by default is a submit button? I think. Alright, well, there's nothing for it. Does that actually make a network call? That does not make a network call. So maybe we need to do equals submit. Like, I don't know if that's a valid prop though. I assume it would yell at me if it wasn't a valid prop. Here. Okay, so that does send it there, and we do get it back. Rules, but updated. Old name? Here we go. Hey, okay, so it's actually updating things in the database. Resolve, update character. Yes! The form is working! Whoa! Okay. So getting that is going to unblock us on a lot of things. The only thing it doesn't... Oh, so it does update that. Nice. Old new name. So if we do... change it to new name... Oh, it automatically updates the caching. Yay! Okay. Oh, this unblocks everything. Okay, now let's just update our tracker here. Here. Okay, now let's wire up the create form. Okay, so what have we got here? So I think we're going to need to import all of this, if we haven't already. We have not. Okay, so that, and then our main component that we're returning is a form. Here, like this. Yeah, that is the top level of what we're returning. Okay, so let's start by getting the fields in there. Actually, I don't know why I have these in a separate div. Like, I needed the separate div back when I was trying to do conditional hiding, but I don't think I need this anymore, actually. Then again, this could be one of those things where it's seemingly innocuous, you change it, and then all of a sudden you've destroyed the universe. Okay, no, that seems to work. Very nice. Okay. So what we want to have is... Well, actually, first, let's set up our state. We're going to initialize our form state here. We don't need ID in form state because we're not going to have an ID yet. Then, the character here, so we're going to have this. And then I'm going to use mutation create character, which we are going to have to copy over, or well, set up rather. Okay, and we're providing a create character input. Okay, very nice. Now, we need our loading messages. Here. Okay, so we've got that. And then, form fields. We need name. Okay. And then we need system message or system prompt. And then we need a button. Here. Character create form helper text, we don't need that. We don't need use query. Update character is assigned but never used. Mutation data is assigned but never used. Okay, so actually, yeah. So I know in Ruby, if you're not going to use something, you can just do like an underscore. Or I guess you just do that. Okay, I'll leave that for now. Yeah, we'll figure that out later. It's just a warning, so it's not going to hurt anything. And then we need to set our actual opening form tag that handles the submit stuff. Oh, and one other thing. We need to rename this to create character. Here, and then let's grab, actually let's just grab this whole tag here, drop it in, and then we're going to do create character. Okay, so now the only two errors are that we're assigning mutation data but never using it. Okay, so let's do new. Hi, I am new. These are my rules. Okay, and let's clear this out, and then let's save that. And then, oh, yeah, I know one thing we need to do. Okay, so if we refresh, it's going to be in the list. But sorry, a lot of talking. But what we want to do is we actually want to let's see, we want to pass in state management here. So set active character ID, and then we want to say, oh, and then this is actually going to force us to use mutation data. Set active character ID, mutation data, character ID. Okay, so we do that, and then Like, actually, I think we should do that here on the update form as well, just to be safe. But we're going to need to pass in set active character ID as a prop. Character. Say set active character ID. State management is a real pain. This is getting unwieldy, so let's do this here. Okay, so we've got that, and then we need to pass in set active character ID to character. Where is character? Character tab? Yes. Equal set active character ID. Perfect. Okay, so the idea is create new, another new, more new. Let's see, let's clear this out. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. So it successfully makes the GraphQL call, but and then I think actually we would see the same thing if we tried to do an update. YouTube. Yeah, okay. So it does not like I think these have to be oh, okay, this is ugly. Alright, I think these have to be called data loading and mutation. Okay, so then I think what we do is we, I hate this, but I think we query the character here, and then we pass it in, no wait, not here, not in the character tab. We query the character here, and then we pass it in as a prop to the update form. Because then we can control the name. Okay. That's what we're doing. Alright, yay, another refactor. So let's get the stuff that we need for queries here. We're just doing use query, and then we're going to do this one, and then we're going to say, we're going to move this up here. And then we're going to conditionally show these if ID. Okay, so we've got that. Then we're going to say we're going to make a new prop here. data. All right, yeah, it's gonna yell at me for a minute. Then I'm gonna say, actually no, I'm not gonna call it data. I'm gonna call it input data. Yeah. Input data is going to be data. Woo-wee. All right, then we're going to update this. We're going to get rid of use query. Then we're going to just initially set our state like this. Input data character.id. Name. System message. Okay, so we've got that. Then we're going to get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. We're going to get rid of these because we're going to need these in just a moment. This is referencing form state, so that's fine. ID. We're going to say, we're going to reference that from input data instead. Ah, no, that's not what I wanted. Here, input data, and then input data. Okay. Loading is not defined, error is not defined, ID is not defined. Okay, so we've got that. Then we're going to say data, loading, error. And then this is just going to become data. Okay, so that's that. And then we don't need this here. This is also nice because it reduces it to one GraphQL operation per component, which I think makes some of this a little messy, but also it's probably the best way to do it. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, now, hard refresh. Boom. Let's do this. New name 2. Save. Okay, so it doesn't like updating. It's still trying to read character from something that's not defined. Let's see if it likes creating a new. Oh, doesn't like that. Okay, okay, so that's broken. Okay, so what's coming to mind? Let's focus on fixing the mutation first. So what's coming to mind here is use mutation is returning the function that we call. Then here we have it set as data loading error, but that's different from the order of use query, which is loading error data, which feels odd to me. So I'm wondering if maybe whatever I was referencing got it wrong. So let's go back to the Apollo docs. And let's say, no, they do it data loading error. That is so weird. Data loading error. Huh. Well, that's weird. Okay, then let's look at the actual GraphQL call and see what happens. Because we do have a GraphQL call. I am a dingus. There's another path in here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, so here, 3, let's close this out. Data, update character. Oh, interesting. Huh. Well, I mean, GraphQL is succeeding. I mean, no doubt I would have run into that eventually. But, okay, so it's still not liking this for some reason. Let's check. Let's go back to this example here and see what they end up doing. So when they set this up, so they're not even looking at anything beyond just the function call that's getting created. Oh. Well, maybe I don't need that. I mean, especially not here. We might need it in the create character, but maybe we don't need this at all. So reload. 2. Okay, so that saves, and we see it because the updated timestamp changed. I mean, it's not amazing, but okay, that will work. I can live with that. And at the end of the day, isn't that what really matters? Like, we gotta make the users happy, and in this case, I'm the user. This case, we do need to make it work, though. Data loading error. Loading. Okay. Data dot, and then this is actually going to be create character is going to be the path there. Mutation error, that just needs to be error. Okay. I still have a hypothesis that these things are in the wrong order, but let's find out. Let's create new. Oh, that's okay. Let's fix that up. Actually, let's just switch these. So if it's new, then show this. That way we don't have the negative condition. Or maybe we do like an or condition, so no matter which one it is. Yeah, you're right, we have to wrap these. Oh, it doesn't like that? Okay, let's just say ID is new. Oh, I know what it is. Yep, these. So if it's null or new, okay. Couldn't find character with ID new. I don't like that. Okay. Well, you know what? I think I've got to go refill my water real quick because I am thirsty. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. Whew. All right. Let's see. So what's not working is this. So we need. So let's see. We need to go back to our wherever it is we're managing state, which is here. Okay, so we can do this. Ah, so it doesn't like that. Huh. It really doesn't like that. New. That was the mistake I made. Wait, new. Okay, so it does not like that. Yeah, and then if I try to switch over to messages, it's really not gonna like that. Actually, we probably need to just disable the tab if the ID is new. Let's see, tabs. Can you disable a tab? Yeah, you can. Okay, so let's actually, it's a nice little diversion for a moment. Let's see. Actually, I don't like that. Let's see. Sorry, I am jumping all over the place, but let's just say equal. Okay, so let's just see if that does it for us. Switch over to messages. Okay, so it works there. Dang, I really wish this thing would quit jumping around in width. But that's secondary. Okay. Couldn't find character with ID new. Alright, so we've got it handled here. We just need to handle it here. Oh. Ah. Actually, why did we stop using null? There was some error somewhere. Oh, it was in setting the initial tab. Okay, yeah. I'm remembering now. So we say no, 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 no. Ah. No. Okay, so we've got that back to normal, and then we say, select character. It was this. No? Oh, wait. Ha. Hacker woman's. Let's see. New value. No. New value. Okay. Plop this in here. There we go, and then we can just say null all the way down. That works so much better. One level up. If ID is null. Okay, but it's not gonna... Okay, so we got ID there. That's what was causing that. It's all falling into place now. Ah. So it's not liking something still. Character tab? No. Where are you? Error? Let's just say ID. Maybe that'll be better. Still saying confine value. Okay, maybe we refresh this. Oh, so now it's initializing with new, which I know where that is. Tab set. There we go. Refresh me, please. Boom shakalaka, baby. Okay, now we needed to verify that our create form still works after the changes that we made. So here, new, yada, yada. Okay, here, so if we do this, we should see a successful GraphQL request, and it should pop us over to the edit view. That is not what happened. Okay, but now we can test my other idea, which is, oh my goodness. I just want to see if these things might be in the wrong order, perhaps. Where do we do that query? We do that query here. It doesn't make sense to me for them to be in a different order between mutations and queries. Like, it just doesn't. Okay, testing, more testing. Okay, so it still doesn't like that. We are going to need to build a delete button soon. Well, just so we get a sense of accomplishment. Oh, we already marked that as done. We've been running around in circles ever since. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the documentation. Oh my goodness. Okay, so do they ever actually do anything with data on return? So here, they're just not including data as a return at all, which kind of tracks. Updating the cache directly. Sorry, I'm just kind of curious about this. Oh, wow. Nope, I don't think that's anything we really need. We could add refetch queries. What if this might be just a really misguided idea? But we said data equal just make sure that this still works. Like, just the mutation on its own. Okay, so that works. It just doesn't switch us over. It doesn't refresh the list of characters. But if we do this, then it does show up here. Oh, jeez. This is more complex than I had anticipated. Okay. Like, I don't know. This should work. Okay, actually, I'm gonna pause this out and I'm gonna say log data. Okay. Create new. Why was it trying to do that? Wait. Let's do this. So it's trying to fetch. Wait. Sorry, I have to figure this out. Dang it. Alright, you know what? I can live with that. It's not ideal. What I can't live with... Well, you know what? Frick, gonna stick with a brick. I think I'm spinning my wheels here. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to remove this from here. And I'm just going to live with it not behaving ideally. Yeah. The only other thing I can think of is trying to do a refetch. A query refetch. Like we could add refetch queries as an option here. Okay, let's actually just try that one time. Let's do... fetch queries. And then what's the query name? Get characters. Okay. Okay, let's try this and see what happens. I don't like that we're not using set active character ID. Save. So we get that, and we're refetching that. Okay. Alright, and then let's actually just make sure that we're doing this. Oh, dear goodness. Data.createCharacter.character. I don't know, yeah, we really need to set this. I wish I could do a console. Data is not defined, okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't think data is defined this way, but... Okay, and then console log undefined. Okay, well, time to go to the Google after I look at this blog post that I pulled up earlier but never used. Let's see if I can find them doing the same thing. Okay. Go client mutation data. Undefined. Use mutation always returns data undefined. That sounds a lot like what we're getting. Oh, so this is just someone who is expecting it to run. Alright, so we've got something a little different from that. Let's see what this person is doing. Use effect. I wonder if that's still a thing. So, reading this, it seems like we have to set a trigger. So before the mutation, right after the mutation is fired. Okay, so we have to wait. We have to wait for the mutation to actually go. It's not finishing yet, so data is undefined. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, let's see if use mutations, please. Use effect. Okay, I think I saw that briefly mentioned back here in this other one that we looked at, though. That was on completed. But we could set it here as an option, I think. On completed data. Okay. Here. On completed. Okay, nice. So that does exist as a prop. Data equal. Okay. Here's what we're doing. We're doing set active character ID. Data. Create character ID. That should do it. Then we can remove this. Okay. Alright, gonna hide that because that makes me sad. Woo! We are in business, baby. We got a stew going. Okay, so we've wired up the form to create mutation. Now, we need to wire up delete. And what we want to do there is we're going to set up a new component. Yay! Everybody's favorite thing. So touch source components, delete character button. Alright, and this is going to be here. So we're going to do this. We're going to say this. I'm gonna input a button, and then we're gonna import our GraphQL stuff. And then we're gonna do this. It's gonna be delete character. Delete character. Delete. And then the response is just going to be status. Okay. Delete, 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 delete. Very nice. So we're going to do this. Delete character button. And I really need to set up a lintery. Oh yeah, we're also going to pass in active character ID. Those are our props. Then we're going to say if active character ID return div else return, and we're just going to make this an empty div. Yeah, that should be fine. So here, what we're going to do is we're actually not going to return a div. We're going to return a form, but first let's wire up this. Yeah, so we're going to do this here. Set active character ID to null on completion. We're going to refetch get characters. Delete here. Okay, so we've got that. Then we're going to say, we're going to make this a form that we're going to have. Actually, we don't need this, but we do need this, and we do need a form closing tag. So we're going to do ID, and ID is going to be active character ID. Here, like this. We don't need a second prop. We need to use the right function. Here, okay, so that's all good. And then we need a button. Actually, I think we want the button to be I want to have a confirmation dialog because I know I'm just going to fat finger something and it's not going to come out right. So let's figure that out. We're not going to use any of these. Actually, I think we want to refetch the queries after. I don't know if that actually matters, but I'm going to do it that way anyway. And then I think, yeah, I think we really want to have a confirmation dialog of some sort. So let's see. Alert? Is that the right thing? Does not interfere with user's tasks. That's not what we want. Modal. modal dialogue, I think, is what we want. I mean, this might actually be better for create character, but I'm not ready to deal with that yet. Okay, so let's show the code. So we've already got button. We don't need any of the other form stuff. We do want modal dialogue. Yeah, we want all of this. Okay, so... Whew. All right. So we're going to set up a button that will do this. Oh, they are in. Alright, so here. So we're going to set this. Then we're going to say. Actually, we're going to copy all of this. Well, I don't know. We're going to have our button to open the delete dialog here. Actually, let's wrap this in a modal first. Here. Yikes. Okay. Alright, that's better. Still not great. Then we're going to do modal dialogue. Okay. So actually I'm going to finish filling out the modal dialogue first. So we're going to say dialogue title here. Are you sure? Once deleted, once a character is deleted, it cannot be undone. Then I think we have our form. Here, like this. Yes, I am sure. And then I think the color is going to be danger. Yep, danger. Danger? Danger. Danger. And then we want an open button. Which I'm going to copy this one. And then we need to wrap this in a div. here. Danger. Start decorator. I don't want to start decorator. Ah! Do I want to start decorator? Decorators? Start decorators. What kind of decorators are there? Like... let's check out the API docs. Oh, I've already opened that before. Start decorator. What are the different start decorators? So based on what I was seeing here in the usage, decorator. Where is add defined? As an icon? Okay, you know what, that's not really important. I was thinking for a second there that I might get like a little trash can, but I don't need that. Delete character. Okay. Start. Let's see if this actually... Oh, well, this isn't going to do a thing because we're not loading it anywhere. Import delete character button. Defined but never used. Wait, what is use state is defined but never used? Wait, what? We just want that. Okay, that's better. Same thing there. Okay. And then after all of this, like after the form, we want to have we want a divider, which messages tab. Yeah. Here. Where are we using that? Divider, delete character button, and then we need to wrap all this in a div, of course. Div. Oh, yikes. Here, okay, successful, nice. Now, let's see if it actually lets me do this. It does not. Okay, so we've got the divider there. Not very well spaced, but so delete character button. Oh, I'm not passing in active character and set character. Duh. Potato.character.id, I guess. And set active character ID. Okay, so we've got that. Delete character. Yes, I'm sure. Hi, I am new. This one should go away. Oh, oh baby, we are cleaning up. Status code 500. Oh, interesting. Why did that one not like that? What was that query like? Oh, messages is still referenced. Okay. That's good to know. So we have to delete cascade. Let's see, active record destroy cascade. Dependent destroy. Okay, so we do have to specify that in our models. All right, we can do that. It's easy. Dependent destroy. Okay, here we go. Okay, and then new name 2. Okay, so that one deletes. And then we delete it from messages. Nice, okay. I like that. Delete. Delete. Hey, we're almost there. Like we've almost finished everything that we were gonna do. We've just got one more thing. Whew. Okay. Oh, geez, this is gonna be a terrible React commit. Thankfully, I don't really care about React. Okay, so I'm just gonna prep like a character that I had kind of envisioned. So, Hitman Paris. This is the first one that I'm hoping to use it on. And I've got like a full prompt set up here. Okay, and then let's save. Resize observer loop completed with undelivered notifications. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so we sent this in. Payload, yeah. And then response, we actually got it. This one was refreshing characters, and this one was refreshing the character. Okay. I mean, I can figure that out eventually, but... Alright. That's fine. Messages. No messages. Okay, now we can actually start doing the messages. Yay! We should probably, like, save this. Big commit do thing. Okay, so... let's see. Close all for now. Just get a blank slate here. We got the delete button. Now, send message mutation, which should go fast now that we know how to wire up everything else. Yeah. Okay. Message input. Okay, so what we want to do here is... Oh, geez. Let's return a form instead of a div. Form. Okay, so we've got this. Then got our buttons. Actually, let's change the colors on it a little bit. Like, they're all neutral. Let's see, what do we want to do? And they're all lined up. That's interesting. Okay, well, you know what? Let's import a stack, I think. Do we want to do a stack? I don't know. Yeah, let's do a stack. Here, so this will hopefully just help us organize it a bit. Here. And then let's actually, yeah, let's figure out some different colors. You know what, actually I'm fine with this. Then we need a button. That's gonna say submit. And let's actually get to something that we can reference here. So type equals submit, color equal primary. Let's go with that. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. Now let's just see what that looks like. Oh, it's not loaded. npm start. Here. Let's reload. Pick one. Oh. Okay, so I need to figure out what that is actually. Start, stop, reset. I prefer it if these were all like next to each other. Okay, let's maybe not use a stack. Yeah, I don't want to waste too much time on the design here. So let's just get rid of the stack. Here. Yeah, get rid of stack. That's fine. Okay, so we've got start, stop, reset, submit. That is fine. Submit is our submit button. Okay, now let's wire up the mutation. What we are going to do is we are going to say import these things. Here. Then we're going to create our mutation. Send message. And then what returns that mutation? We return a character. Okay, so same as the other. Which we could cache. I don't know if I don't want to get in caching. I think we're just going to refetch the query. So yeah, let's get rid of this info and let's just return ID, I think. That doesn't really matter that much, but okay. Form state. value is equal to transcript. That actually makes me wonder. So, okay, so that value is going to end up being transcript. All right, that's fine. It just means I think it just means I won't be able to type anything in. Okay, I can live with that for now. Then let us also copy over this. Send message. Send message. Get messages. Yeah, that's the query we're going to refresh. We do not need to do any resets there. Okay. I do think we want to show loading. Yeah. That and that. Okay, so that's nice. Then we need to actually use send message. Did I work at Shopify? No, I haven't worked there. In general, I don't talk about work much on stream, but no, I actually did not work there. I imagine there's probably a lot of Ruby on Rails folks there. Okay, what do I want to do here? Let's see. So I think we just want to display this. Let's copy this over. Place this tag here, and then input. Let's see. What inputs do we need for that mutation? We need character ID, message. We don't need variable temperature right now. So let's start with character ID and message. And that is, okay, so we have that as a variable. The message, we just want that to be transcript for now. Okay, create character is not defined. That's because that's not what we're doing. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's see what happens next. Still got a little quirk in the front, like the loading page of the character screen. But this should give us everything we need. We're gonna refetch queries. Alright, I think this is it. That's our submit button. Okay, I mean, we might as well try it. I fail to see how this could go wrong, but everything that's gone wrong I've failed to see. We'll figure out variable temp in a bit. Okay, so let's see. So we've got our character with a Hitman prompt, system prompt. So this is the first truly end-to-end test of the front end and the APIs all working together, actually all the way through to ChatGPT. Good evening, Agent 47. You've arrived at the red carpet and you are looking for your targets. What would you like to do first? Okay. I mean, barring some weird formatting stuff, this looks good. It actually worked. Holy shit. Oh, okay. I am gonna need to play with the formatting a bit because that's going to get annoying. Okay. Whew. All right, I want to wire up variable temperature, which I think we have a slider option, not a slider, a switch. Yes, okay. Here, so let's bring in switch. And then let's say import, let's make this React use state from React. Okay, use state and switch are not defined. That's fine. Then we're gonna say let's see, where do we want to put this? Oh, we gotta put this at the top. Let's see. Alright, so we don't need a full object. Almost said hash there, wrong language. Let's see. Temp state, temperature state, set temperature state. Okay, so we've got that. Then I think we're going to put a switch down here. Switch, so we can do an on-change event here. Let's see, and I think we'll want form control and form label. All right, so let's figure that out. Yeah. Where is form control, form label? So we want these as well. All right, so let's bring those in. Then let's say form control. Actually, I'm just going to pull up an example so that I get it right. Form label is not required. Enable random temperature. And then we're going to do switch. Which we don't need that, but we do need that. Then we're going to do, let's see, so this is going to default to false. Okay, so how do we do this? Checked equal checked. That's interesting. Oh, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Interesting. A lot of stuff here I could get lost in. Let's do on event. A component is controlled when it's managed by its parent using props. A component is uncontrolled when it's managed by its own local state. That's right. Okay, so checked equal. So I think we could set this to I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around this actually. Let's see. So checked, set checked. Oh, okay. So we would do checked equal temperature. Okay, so yeah. Temperature state, and then event, set temperature state, target dot temperature state. I think that'll do it. Okay, so if we look at this, enable random temperature, console. No. Okay, there's a lot of stuff here. I'm just gonna ignore that for now. Okay, so then let's see. Let's pass in. What's the variable temp? Is temperature state. Okay. And then what we want to see in network is we want to see this random temperature variable as being true. You've located Viktor Novikov on the first floor. He is mingling with the guests and moving back and forth between the fashion show area and the kitchen. What would you like to do next? Submit. Payload. So variables. So it did not submit it with that. Okay, so let's try it again. Oh yeah, after we submit, I think we need to make sure we clear transcript. Yeah, okay, so we do need to do an on-complete. Let's do that. Just while I'm thinking about it. On-complete. And actually, I think to do that, we'll need to move this up. We will want to do reset transcript. Yeah, I think we want that. Expected an assignment or a function call, saw an expression, line 32. So just that. Okay, that works. So that And then for some reason, temperature state is not getting sent. Variable. Let's actually just rename this. I don't know, that's probably fine. But I think we need to reload. Load this one. I don't know what's happening there. I probably need to figure it out. Let's enable random temperature. Oh, it's not letting me enable random temperature. Decide between them. Okay, so I'm doing something wrong there. Let's go back to the switch documentation. I mean, that's what I thought I was doing. Event.target.checked. Oh, event.target.checked. Okay, reload that. Here, reload this one. Don't know what's up with that. Messages. Each child in the list should have a unique key prop. Let's enable variable temperature. Okay. This is interesting, Agent 47. Novikov frequently returns to the bar hoping for his signature drink, the Bare Knuckle Boxer. Apparently, none of the bartenders know how to make his drink. Variables. So that's the wrong one. Here. But, so we did variable temp true. Alright, sweet. So we've got variable temperature in action. So I think the things I need to figure out, I want to figure out what's up with this. So I think we just need to set keys in our list. So that'll be in our messages tab. And then I want to see if I can figure out like a more constant way to have sizing on here. Like, I don't know, I know it's responsive, so maybe if I just scale it to what I want it to be, it'll stay there. And then this is all messy, but I'm fine with that, but I do need to figure out this redirect loop. Yeah, too many re-renders. Okay, so let's figure out the issue with keys first, like just to take care of that. Okay, so that's fine, that's fine. We've done all of our to-dos for now. Now, message tab. Div, card. Okay, so I think each one we're gonna have here, key equal, am I not getting ID? I am getting ID. So let's do ID, equal ID, yeah. So if we do that, and then clear this, but reload, value prop on input should not be null. Create character form. Okay, so empty string. Okay, so I suppose we could use empty string. Messages. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so actually if I close this, oh, If I close this, it looks a lot better. Let's see. Yeah, this actually doesn't look too bad. Here, I wish this would expand a bit. But I like this. I think this is in a good spot. Like, this is really... It's still got some rough edges, but this is where I wanted it to be. Okay, yeah. Let's see, what about logging here? Do I have logging about... So here, temperature was 0.2. Interesting. Token count 633. Okay, cool. Well, you know what? I think this is a great place to stop. So yeah, tomorrow I'm actually hoping to jump in and have ChatGPT play a couple of levels of Hitman. I'm super excited about that. So yeah, I'm thinking tomorrow at probably 6:30 Eastern. It's not a great time for Hitman, but I want to work out some of the kinks before I start trying this on something like Baldur's Gate. So yeah, hope to see some folks there. Have a good evening.